Hello. Hello. And we click start. I hear a jovial laugh. And we are live in 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, welcome again to the OneRing.net Torn Tuesday. Again, I want to change the name, but we'll leave that to you. I am Justin. Cliff Broadway is on his way. It is 5 o'clock as we normally get here. Cliff is early today.
With our friend, Smaug.
Indeed.
Who needs to be returned back to our friend in Arizona.
Yes. We during our road trip to DragonCon, some of the fans we met brought amazing things.
Oh yes,
and
they did.
We took little Smaug with a little ring of power around his neck to amazing places.
We kind of did. He got the bird's eye view of everything we did and saw.
Yeah.
It was quite fascinating. So yes, again, we're starting surprisingly on time. We're starting here at Meltdown Comics on Sunset Boulevard. And thanks to our wonderful hosts at Stickcan Video, we're bringing it all together to have another live webcast. Oh, by the way, great new comics that are being released tomorrow.
It's New Comic Wednesday.
New Comic Wednesday. It's kind of like New Record Tuesday,
right?
Isn't it? Everybody used to go to Tower Records for Tuesday for the midnight sale.
And Best Buy
Oh,
and
yeah.
Warehouse.
Yeah.
And
Now, do video games still obey that release date of Tuesdays, just like the record industry does?
no, the big video games release on Thursday and Friday nights.
And so they do it like a weekender type of thing.
So that was in a couple years, the Tuesday release will be no more, and people will be like, oh, age has gone by.
Yeah, and age has gone by, and there's no more Tower Records there on Sunset Boulevard. The classic is now gone.
Speaking of ages gone by, let's take a look at the Hobbit trailer and catch you up on what we saw last week.
Have you got a different adapted ending, or is this just really the first one? The first one, okay.
This is it.
You guys may have seen this by now, but this is the real reason why all the fans worldwide are aflutter with anticipation. Here we go.
Far to the east, over ranges and rivers, lies a single solitary peak. The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
I like visitors as much as the next Hobbit. But I do like to know them before they come visiting.
Mr. Baggins? At your service.
I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Oh, they're quite a merry gathering.
So, this is the Hobbit.
You asked me to find the 14th member of this company, and I have chosen Mr. Baggins.
Me? No.
Hobbits can pass unseen by most if they choose, which gives us a distinct advantage.
We will seize this chance to take back Erebor!
Here, Mr. Bilbo! Where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
Mithrandir, why the halfling?
Why Bilbo Baggins? Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. And it gives me courage.
So this is your purpose, to enter the mountain?
What of it?
There are some who would not deem it wise.
A dark part has found a way back into the world.
Why don't we have a game of riddles?
And if it loses, what then? Well, if it loses, precious, then we eat it. If Baggins loses, we eat it whole.
Fair enough.
I will take each and every one of these dwarves over the mightiest army. Loyalty, honor, a willing heart. I can ask no more than that.
Home is now behind you. The world is ahead.
Well, that could have been worse.
So that was the new Hobbit trailer, and I tell you what, it didn't quite click that the Hobbit, when he says, so this is the Hobbit. Richard Armitage as Thorin says, so this is the Hobbit. The Hobbit is is not the main character. I mean, he progresses the story forward in this, but it's like, so this is the Hobbit. It's like a dwarf's tale. And
it is very much looking that way. It looks as if there's major layers of story, and because they don't have the ring and the history of the ring to deal with,
right,
to complicate the narrative, the film is going to have the robust history of the dwarves. That's going to be what, not the history of Isildur and the failure of men against the ring and Sauron. This is going to be a different epic.
So it's
based on dwarven history.
It's what the dwarves are trying to do, and they're trying to get their lands back and everything. And
absolutely,
you have this great general, that like Gerard Butler in 300. This is Richard Armitage's coming out party.
Do you get that warlord effect from him? Do you?
His voice, his seriousness, his intonation. I sure hope he doesn't fall back to doing romantic comedies like Gerard Butler did.
Oh no! Say it isn't so.
This guy should spend the next 3 years being a hero, and then continue to be heroes, kind of like Viggo Mortensen did.
With Hidalgo.
With Hidalgo and all the other. Was it not Richard Linklater? Yeah.
Ooh, look at this.
Yeah, look at that.
A genuine piece of bag end. This is real leaf. Plastic, though it may be, from the bag end tree, which is right over Bilbo's front door. I found it fallen down on the ground and blown to the wayside when I was visiting Hobbiton external set.
So when you visit Hobbiton, because now it's a tourist attraction, that we do not recommend you doing this.
No, you won't find any of these because they're carefully behind.
Keep only memories.
Yes.
Leave only footprints.
I agreed. This just happened to blow my way, and the winds of change are quite unusual these days.
But welcome to the chat room. You can find us at theonering.net/live or stickam.com/theonering, where you can turn on your video camera.
Absolutely.
And we want to see you. We can see our viewers. We have Alex Malark in shadow. Jenny Northerner was a little late. He's usually one of the top guys. Now he's relegated to door number 4.
That's funny.
Welcome, and of course we have our regular IRC chat room at irc.theonering.net.
Very popular there.
There are some amazing new information that has just come out this week. We're only on Tuesday, and we've had just some amazing images and plot information and filming information that just came out today.
And a new poster image as well.
And a new poster image.
Whole new, full-on Martin Freeman poster.
And then last week was Tolkien Week, where several new photos and images and video of Tolkien was released, and of course the new trailer. And then we had our Hobbit Day celebration here in Griffith Park. Bilbo's birthday is every year on the 22nd, right?
Yes, it is.
September 22nd.
And we have an event on the weekend that is closest to the 22nd. Lucky for us, this year, it all coincided with a beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon. The weather was excellent, very cooperative. We had plenty of room. We had our largest attendance ever. And we've been doing this for over a decade, 11 years now.
No, this was our 10th anniversary, I thought.
That it was. But you know what? There have been other events related with the Hall of Fire, with the Mythopoeic Society in the 60s. But this is the OneRing.net having revived the classic 1960s fan gathering to celebrate Baggins' birthday, both Frodo and Bilbo, and we had our biggest attendance ever. 120 people or 135 people, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was just massive. None of the pictures do it justice, because there was a constant rollover. Families would show up at noon, and then they'd have to get back before 6 o'clock, and then people just kept rolling in as the afternoon, and up until sundown. It was just a constant flow of friends.
people brought their food, and they brought their musical instruments, and they brought some of their great costumes.
Costumes were amazing.
Oh,
and
man.
the musical instruments, a didgeridoo showed up.
12-year-old guy in his Hobbit costume, and he's playing a didgeridoo for real. It was really cool. Kind of surreal, but also very cool.
Here's a little sample of what went on.
Thank you. I'm glad you have this. We're leading right into this great footage, which you guys may have seen live.
I am holding this.
That is our friend Michael Ayalach, who is the singing Gandalf. He's a very popular school teacher here in Southern California.
Really?
Yeah, his kids love him. He's got a great class.
They played for hours. They didn't have a Hobbit reading as well.
Not only that, but he was rotating everybody in the crowd.
Guys, why do you keep walking by?
Set up, Michael, a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. That's funny. Doesn't that look funny, guys? These guys in these costumes. I know.
We were live for most of the afternoon, and you guys were along with us. And
such geekery.
You know,
the best geekery.
It's amazing how many people posted on our Facebook saying, "I wish I knew about this in advance." And I thought, how else could we have got the word out?
We told everybody for a long time.
So there was just and there were celebrations all over the world. Bilbo's birthday, Tolkien celebration day was Friday, but I think more celebrations happened on Saturday, and because it's the weekend. But Bilbo and Frodo's birthday is always celebrated on the 22nd, and we always have a little weekend adventure.
The 21st, that was the Friday before our special day. The 21st marked a unique day in publishing history, did it not? It was the 75th anniversary of The Hobbit being published, and we had some really wonderful buttons that were given to us by the publisher, Houghton Mifflin. And we had lots of Mathams to give out. Our friends at Warner Brothers gave us all these cool Hobbit posters that were the first teaser poster of Gandalf walking through the Green Shire. And see the symbol? There's the trumpet and the person on the dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
That's Houghton Mifflin. Here's our Gandalf for President button that they were letting us give away to fans. So you guys should come next year. Don't miss it. Oh, no, wait. There's even more Tolkien events coming up soon. Here in Los Angeles, if you happen to be in the LA area, the local Tolkien Society has a chapter that is run by a wonderful girl. Her name's Christy.
Okay.
And Christy runs this Tolkien Forever group. It's the local chapter here in LA, and they're doing an event called the Hall of Fire. I think it's October 16th. And we're going to post some details about it on theonering.net. They turn this whole big backyard into multiple pavilions where people design different sections of Middle-earth or a place or a theme with different decorations and lights and music. And there's different Middle-earth pavilions all across the whole property.
Wow, really?
It's so much different food, different music, and people sell custom-made jewelry and articles of clothing and collectibles and really cool stuff. So we're going to let you guys know on theonering.net. If you happen to be in California, you can come join us for that wonderful October event. It'll be
They
very
were telling
good.
us all about this at the event.
Oh, yeah, and our different individuals get to have a different booth, and they create it and style it with their own artwork and their own theme from Middle-earth. Wow. Everybody has a different pavilion. It's super cool, and there's lots to do. So we'll give you guys details about that on theonering.net, and you will have to send in an RSVP so that they'll send you the address on the weekend when it happens.
When is it?
It's actually October... let me check my calendar. I think it's October 13th or October 12th.
Yeah, I think it was...
Second weekend in October.
It was the second weekend because I remember it was the same weekend as New York Comic-Con, where if you're on the East Coast, that's in LA. If you're on the East Coast, New York, you can visit us at theonering.net at New York Comic-Con.
Ooh.
We have a booth and a panel.
What weekend is that?
And
is that the same weekend?
The same weekend.
Oh, okay. So for those of you who are not at New York Comic-Con, October 13th, that's 12th, 13th, and 14th, that weekend of New York Comic-Con.
So Los Angeles,
Wow.
Pasadena, or
Wow.
New York.
So much going on even before the film comes out.
Jeez.
And then what is the next stage in our preparations before the film comes out? TheOneRing.net is going to announce officially the line parties, where every individual is going to get to sign up and create a mini database relative to their city and to the theater of their choosing, so you guys can pick the very best screen for the cinema experience for everybody in your neighborhood, and you can all sign up individual per city and organize your own individual events. It'll be so great.
And hopefully help restore my faith in fandom, because
it's coming. Believe me.
When the Lord of the Rings first came out at the beginning of the millennium, there was a lot of emphasis placed on the best theater to see the movie.
Oh, yes.
With the highest quality projectors.
And the biggest screen.
And the best sound. And
the best sound, yes.
And the comfort of the seats, the physical comfort of the seats played less a factor than the oral and visual experience.
I would tolerate a very bad plastic seat in Grauman's Chinese theater just to be in that classic auditorium and to see the magnificent size of that screen light up with that really newly designed Dolby sound system that they have. It's really great. But I put up with the crappy seats just for the big screen.
Yeah.
I really would.
The big screen, and the fact that this was shot in 3D 48. Like, my goal is for opening night, and I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of our friends going to the biggest screen or the most comfortable theater, because they, for whatever reason, I really want to go into a theater that the filmmaker would prefer. A theater showing it in 3D 48.
Absolutely.
And I have a feeling here in LA, it's going to be not the same theater that is the most comfortable, and it's not going to be the same theater with the largest screen.
You think so?
And I think even amongst our group of friends, that there's just going to be splits and factions because, I'm too old to sit in a crappy seat for 3 hours. Oh, no, you're not. You're just lazy and you're not a big fan anymore. And I hate 3D and I won't see it because my selfish opinions are more important than what the filmmaker intended, which goes against everything a film connoisseur would appreciate.
Well, how about film connoisseurs who go to places like the ArcLight, where they expect in their black box auditoriums to have the very best projection and sight and sound. Then there's the oddball, and I consider it the golf ball oddball, right there on Sunset Boulevard at the ArcLight, is the world-famous Cinerama Dome. And it is notorious for having a certain curvature of the screen. Many film connoisseurs, and even people like James Cameron and some of those folks, come in and say that the 3D effect is somewhat compromised.
It is.
Because of the curvature and because there's a reflective bounce that is inward towards the audience that is unexpected because of that structure. Do you agree with that?
I do.
Tell me, what do you think about that?
I do, because even without 3D, I remember seeing Peter Jackson's King Kong at the ArcLight. And
I introduced it.
The curvature of the film is so great that you think that it would be a bonus for being, all-encompassing, in your field of vision.
Well, that's how Cinerama was designed originally.
But you know what it is your eyeballs are doing this the whole time. And your eyeball, by halfway through the movie, your eyeballs are exhausted from doing this.
It's like watching tennis when you're too close.
Oh man,
right?
That movie was such a headache, and then I had no idea that it was 3.5 hours long.
Oh well, Peter Jackson overdid things with King Kong.
And then
just a bit.
He overdoes things all the time.
Not all the time.
That's one of the worries about The Hobbit.
I know. I think that you might have some quibbles with the Return of the King, but the editing and the pacing of Fellowship and Two Towers, the theatrical versions, are amazing.
And of course, we have an embarrassment
really
of spoils, and I'm not complaining because, as Corey Streeter in the chat room is saying, there's only one theater within 90 miles, and we have an embarrassment of riches.
We do
with the various large format screens and the 3D theaters and the classic theaters of Hollywood, the Grauman's Chinese, the Cinerama Dome, the Egyptian theater.
Back to your conversation with all these different theaters we get to choose from in LA. Any major metropolis is going to have lots and lots of choices, but usually there's one or two exceptional theaters that have the biggest audience capacity and the best sound and projection.
Yeah.
That is going to be up to the local organizers of each line party in each city to make the decision on where they would want to host. And I'm sure that local chapters of the Tolkien Society are, actually talking amongst themselves right now, trying to figure out where they're all going to want to go. But, oh no, really? Do we really have toys? Not only do we have the movie to look forward to, and not only the line parties,
but
and
I think
New York Comic Con. Oh, Lord.
I think New York Comic Con, we're going to see a lot of toys.
The
on
merchandise
display.
will be on.
It's
Way
starting
on.
to be on. And
check this out.
Check this out.
Yeah, here she is.
This is Toriel.
Evangeline Lilly, a beautiful, beautiful, and rather waif-like Canadian actress.
Who was in Lost.
Who was in Lost and ended up starting a relationship with none other than Dominic Monaghan. Bam, they started dating when they were working together on Lost.
So that's a double whammy of the Lost had Dominic Monaghan.
Yeah.
And then now The Hobbit has...
How would she ever know that she was going to get the chance to enter Middle-earth
the
way that Dominic once did?
I tell you what,
Isn't that great?
A lot of people have been complaining since the announcement of this Peter Jackson-created character of Toriel in The Hobbit. And like, The Hobbit doesn't have any female characters, and you're right, it doesn't.
Not a single one.
And so he created this character to kind of, balance everything out. And now that this picture has come out, there's a lot of people, their opinions are swinging to the positive because they're like, you know what? Mm-hmm. That looks pretty darn good.
This is our first time ever seeing her in full-on Weta-designed makeup and costume and weaponry.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. What do you think?
It's exactly what I thought it should be.
Well, most of our experiences with elves have been blonde, blonde, blonde. Blonde, blonde, blonde.
Well, and some people
here she has chestnut.
Yeah,
it's great.
Some people were complaining about that, but I think it's going to work. Here's the other thing that's interesting.
I think she's adorable. And if you had met her in person, then you would realize what a generous and just overwhelmingly lovely woman she is. She's a lovely woman.
Toriel is packaged with Legolas Greenleaf.
Because they do all their fight scenes together. They have so many
they
scenes
just
together.
have their fight scenes?
They have to defend.
But not War of the Roses fight scenes.
No, they're not involved. No.
Really?
Legolas and they have like some brotherly, sisterly kind of military competition. They were like working together like Legolas and Gimli. So Tauriel is replacing Gimli as Legolas's right-hand man for fight scenes.
Interesting.
Seriously, yeah, it's seriously going to be great. It's going to be great.
The other thing to notice about this packaging is that every time Legolas is mentioned now, he's Legolas Greenleaf.
Full name.
Why are they using their last names?
It's interesting.
Because if we look at Keely and Feely, Keely the dwarf, Feely the dwarf. Why don't they just say Keely and Feely?
I don't know why. That seems goofy to me.
So they're using Legolas Greenleaf, Keely and Feely, Bilbo Baggins,
and Gollum. Wow.
So they're using surnames on all of the characters. Why do you think they have to use surnames
instead of just Bilbo and Gollum?
Everyone knows what Bilbo is.
Yeah, there's only one. It's interesting. Why would they make that marketing decision? What do you think? All right, Esme in the chat is asking, what is that packaging, Justin? Well, guys, Bridge Direct is the company that got the license to make these toys. Years and years and years ago, when the trilogy of films came out, New Line Cinema struck a deal with Toy Biz, right?
Right.
Toy Biz, they had the license back then to make these action figures.
Right.
Now, it's Bridge Direct, and they're really quite cool. Really great designs.
And it's just interesting that I want to know why they have to use last names. And I'm thinking because there's so many characters in this movie, there's 14 primary characters.
14 primary characters, 13 dwarves, and a hobbit, and then there's Gandalf. So I'd say 15 primary
But
characters.
Gandalf gets things going, and then he disappears, and But
he is a primary character. Are you kidding?
He is.
All the marketing so far has been built on Gandalf. We've had this conversation before.
Right. So
he's the 15th character for real.
So I think, but why would they use the last name on everything? It's.
I wonder. I have some questions about that myself.
Right.
Well, what do you think of the toys? Do they look pretty cool?
I don't know. They look kind of, I think as a consumer, I'm at the Sideshow and Gentle Giant level.
Yes.
Now.
Well, I believe actually Gentle.
Toys don't.
From what I understand, Gentle Giant offered a lot of their services for scanning and art reproduction for the Bridge Direct toy line.
Really?
Yes. So you'll see and get to enjoy a lot of the great scanning technology that Gentle Giant is famous for really exact, proportionate recreations of the characters' likenesses in these toys.
Huh.
Yeah, they want to guarantee the quality of the work. Isn't that great? Oh, look who's here. Oh, there's a girl. We have a young guest star who's going to be on our chat later this evening. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed.
We have some surprises for you in this episode of Torn Tuesday. Thank you guys for joining us once again. Let me give you some station identification. My name's Clifford, online as Quickbeam, contributor and writer for theonering.net, and I'm also the writer and producer of Ringer's Lord of the Fans. We had a really great article appear on our website just a few days ago. And let me also introduce Justin, my friend, technical producer, and often co-host in Mischief. But did you see...
But the real part of the show is you guys, the fans, who are online with your webcams at stickam.com and, of course, on IRC in our chat room.
Join us at theonering.net/live so you can see our built-in live event page and join that chat.
So I was just reading an article about our everyone's favorite J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
And a wonderful 10-page interview in the New Yorker about J.K. Rowling. She has a new book coming out.
Yes, her first non-Potter attempt at fiction.
Yeah, and it is definitely more adult with within the first 10 pages, multiple references of the female body and its many facets.
I've heard it's gotten some very mediocre and some cold critical response.
Well, it's not Harry Potter, and it leans toward 50 Shades.
Maybe
of discovery of anyway, but in this interview they say, well, this book, her new book is about teenage angst and growing up and discovering yourself and discovering your body. And they asked her, well, who were you in high school and college? And J.K. Rowling says she was kind of a goth. She didn't have many friends. She listened to the Smiths and she read Tolkien all day.
Really? That's great. She was kind of an alterna goth girl. I can imagine she was.
So she said her every day after school, she would just bury her head in Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, but mostly Tolkien. So you have to...
What does that tell you about how Bathilda Bagshot was created and some of these character names that she has borrowed from Tolkien? You know, Bagshot is the name of the Hobbit holes 1, 2, and 3 on Bagshot Row, where Samwise lives. Tolkien invented that word first, but, the author of A History of Magic...
She knows Tolkien.
Yeah, she knows her Tolkien, so she borrowed some names and some little idiomatic expressions, perhaps, that also got filtered through her mind when she was a teenager. I want to read this New Yorker piece, I really do.
Yeah, and it goes into, painters at the turn of the 19th and 20th centuries, that saying, if you get successful for something first, the rest of your career is defined by that. So they give the example if a painter's first success is a painting of a windmill, and then he starts painting cityscapes, it will always return back to the windmill. So the critics, your fans and critics, will always view your work through the lens of your previous success. And I think everybody's going to judge her work, be it more adult or...
Well, how did Stephen King manage to break down from just being the horror writer to doing other things like The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger?
He used different names.
And other fantasy. He used pseudonyms. That's exactly right.
Right.
That's exactly right.
And at some point,
fascinating.
And then at some point he said, "You know what? The joke is up, and everybody knows I am the pseudonyms." So now he's just Stephen King in everything else. But other news this week, our friend Billy Connolly, who plays Dane Ironfoot, says he is not done filming.
Yep.
And I'll betcha.
He also said, I could never read Tolkien. I always found him unreadable.
Yeah.
He is definitely coming into a big piece of mythology to play an important character, and he's coming in cold with this stuff.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think how big of a role did Dane Ironfoot have in the book?
He is the charge of the Light Brigade at the big epic battle. He is...
How many pages are devoted to him?
The cavalry coming to the Dwarf Kingdom. How many pages are dedicated to him? Well, when his character appears, he stays in the Hobbit story for the rest of the book. So he appears in the last 3 or 4 chapters, I think.
Okay. So he does have a...
And he doesn't leave.
But now that Peter Jackson is doing a trilogy and he's expanding a lot of these stories...
yes, he is.
Do you think and adding stuff to it, do you think it works in Connolly's favor now that he has no preconceived idea of the character except for what Peter Jackson has presented to him in script?
Yes,
so,
we're gonna. I tell you what, Connolly, Mr. Connolly is up to the task. He's up to it. He's done enough comedy. He's also done some really great dramas.
Spell that.
They spelled it backwards, didn't they?
Boradway.
Boradway. They misspelled my last name.
Boradway.
You know, do you think that Connolly is up to the task, even though he's a total virgin?
Oh yeah,
to Tolkien.
It's not about Tolkien. It's about the film and the character, and I think he is perfect.
He is. He really, really is perfect.
They couldn't. I think the only other person they could possibly cast would be like Mel Gibson, like a strong.
No one wants to work with him anymore.
Right. So they needed a strong general that is stronger than even Richard Armitage.
Yes. Yeah. They're cut from the same cloth. Those two.
Yeah,
they really,
you better
really
believe
are.
That. It's.
Whoa! Did you see what he says here in this article?
Huh.
He says, "Oh yes, I have to go back for more footage. I haven't done the battle scenes yet. I have to be battle ready." This is Billy Connolly telling us, "I ride into war on a wild pig," quote unquote. Do you believe that?
You have to. He.
One more time. The 69-year-old Scottish actor has told everyone in this interview with Vulture.com that he says, "I've never read The Hobbit. Never. What about The Lord of the Rings? I've never read Lord of the Rings. I could never read it. I've always found him unreadable. I didn't read the books, and normally I don't like people who have.
A man after my own heart.
The people who love it, they're kind of scary. They talk all this gobbledygook, and they think of it as the Holy Grail." Then, whoa, he smacks down. And then he says, "How does Connolly plan to deal with the Tolkien fans who will lob at him all these obscure questions about The Hobbit for the rest of his life?" And Connolly says, "Usually, I just make up stuff because I don't know what I'm talking about. But invariably, there seems to be a sector of the press that is consumed by The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, that it's indicative of that notion that it's the Grail. So whatever I say is rubbish. And then I become answerable for it. People get all upset. They get terribly upset about anything that has to do with it, as if it were real. It's a story. Just relax. It'll go away and you'll be just fine. Don't panic." Oh, Mr. Connolly goes further to say, quote, he's laying it down as honest as he can be. "I mean, the scripts are brilliant. Very good," Connolly continues. "But I always disagree with people who think the movie should be like the book. A movie's a movie, and the book's a book. And this movie is going to be great," Connolly has promised. Quote, "Martin Freeman is absolutely brilliant. That was one of the first things I saw. And I'm going to get into trouble again if I say this, but we're filming faster at 48 frames per second than we normally would with special equipment and all in 3D. Our 3D just makes it glow. It looks like a cartoon, but the people are real. And it's shiny. And it's real." And that is how I described it when I saw the 48 frames per second.
Shiny.
It's very shiny.
Yeah.
It's very shiny and very high definition. And it looks realistic in a very bizarre, interesting way.
Only in 3D. I bet you it'll look better in 3D. This will be one of the first movies besides Avatar
Connolly.
that looks better in 3D than it does in 2D.
The 3D is going to greatly help the presence of Gollum and the trolls and these other things. They look great.
It's going to help the film actors match the animation quality of all the CG characters.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the computer graphics can do the high frame rate.
If I decide that I don't care for that shiny new look, the 48 frames per second. I'll walk down the hall at my Cinemaplex and I'll see it in regular 24 frames per second. But look at Connolly dissing the fans as if they're too involved in it, as if they're too hyperactive about the stories. He doesn't understand the passion. Have you ever seen the look in a true believer's eyes, Justin?
I think he has, and Billy,
yes,
and he doesn't like what he sees, and I guess that kind of.
I like what I see when I look into a true believer's eyes. I'm talking to someone who loves their stories,
and Billy Connolly doesn't. So I think we have our work cut out for him in getting him on the show.
No, he probably won't want to talk with us. He probably won't. But he says the scripts are really brilliant, and he loves the writing that Peter and Fran and Philip have done.
Billy Connolly is a very opinionated man, and as you can see in one conversation, he disses everything that he wants to, but then he says the 3D is astounding, and it's like, if everybody, the actors on the movie are saying that this stuff is good, why are the fans so against it?
I don't know.
It's just like, if everybody that has seen the footage from this guy on up to a very negative opinion, Billy Connolly, he loves the 3D. So they're like, it just. Why won't the fans go see the movie in 3D? All the reports that we're getting back from people that went to the movie theaters this weekend and saw the trailer on the big screen in 3D, and were blown away.
Really? Have you gotten some feedback from fans who've seen the 3D version of this?
People have been posting on our Facebook and Twitter, like, just got home from the theater and or the cinema, and I saw the trailer in 3D, and oh wow. That's what everybody's saying. There has not been one person that said, you know what, I don't like the 3D in this movie.
It's going to be phenomenal.
It's going to be, and
Weta has never done anything 3D, have they? Well, they've provided 3D work.
No, they did Avatar.
They did James Cameron's Avatar.
They did Avatar.
Yes. So how about this? Everyone here is talking, saying 3D before Dread, and it was not that great. Oh, Ted said that he saw the 3D version of the trailer and said it wasn't all that great. It was just okay.
Okay.
Well, at least you've gotten to see it in 3D. At least you can compare it from regular to...
And of course, Dredd has Eomer from the Two Towers.
Oh, another connection.
Carl Urban is Dredd, and
Judge Dredd, absolutely.
And so if you go see Dredd in 3D, the Hobbit trailer is attached to it in 3D.
I'm definitely down to go see Dredd because it's getting some surprisingly strong reviews. The critics are saying it is very stylish and filled with all kinds of great bits, and it really breathes life back into the Judge Dredd comic book story. So much better than the previous attempt.
I feel like the marketing just missed the mark.
Well, no, the trailer wasn't all that great. But
and the whole campaign. I should be excited to see that movie, and I couldn't be bothered.
I might check it out.
Right, and then I might check.
I might see a cheap matinee, but I don't want to pay more than $10.
It's basically Carl Urban's voice and chin, and exactly why do you take an attractive character actor known for his good looks and just cover him up?
But he does have a very jowly chin. He has really strong, square angles on his face, and the angles in his face look great in the Dread mask. See? Teteris is saying it's basically Carl Urban's voice and chin, but he's good at it. No, I'll pay $10, but not $15. Now, hey, what do you think about this new Hobbit poster? Do we have an image of the new one sheet of Martin Freeman that has just appeared? I want you guys to check out. This is the biggest shift from Gandalf that we have seen in all the major marketing pieces for this film. All of them have been centered around Gandalf so far.
Everything has been Gandalf. The trailers, both trailers start with Gandalf.
Yep, even the big banner that we have on our Facebook timeline for theonering.net, it's Gandalf. And what else do we have? I know you have. I know that. Oh, look at that. There it is. And right across Martin Freeman's forehead, what does it say? From the director of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But it's a total close-up of Bilbo and his weaponry. It's about Sting. It's about the connection to the Lord of the Rings through Sting, and Bilbo, and he looks rather tough and determined. He doesn't look mousy or twitchy. He doesn't look like he's jumping around all nervous, trying to figure out, oh my god, I don't really want to go around with these dwarves. They're going to make me crazy. I'm going to get killed. He does not seem like a fumbling, bumbling, comedic Bilbo. This is a much more hardcore, I'm ready for battle action Bilbo.
Well, remember the first character poster?
Yeah.
Was in Lord of the Rings was Frodo looking at the ring.
This gentle open hand in this evil ring in his hand. Yes.
Yeah, see, that doesn't sell the character.
It sells the character a great deal.
It doesn't sell the accurate character.
It's the Bilbo that we're going to know and love when he asserts himself during the course of his adventure. And I think we'll see plenty of it. By the time we get to the riddle game sequence with Gollum, you're going to see some of that resourcefulness in Bilbo that you've never seen before. He looks very resourceful and very determined and ready for action. Are we showing our audience what are we showing them now?
Look. Ah, jeez.
Access forbidden.
You see that poster with Viggo?
Yeah.
That's appropriate. They should have a poster with the sword with Richard Armitage. But this is the humble...
There were two versions of that. There were a version with Frodo looking directly at the camera, and also a version with him looking down in his hand.
Right. Where is that?
There it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that poster, again, there's nothing on the top of the poster that says from the director, from the studio, from anything.
That's right. But how fascinating to finally see our first Bilbo-centric piece of film advertising. It is.
It's selling. I don't like it.
I do. I like it very, very much, and I'll tell you why.
He's like super serious.
You can't continue to sell the character as a goofy, bumbling idiot. There's heroism inside this character, and we explore that throughout the whole story. That Bilbo finds himself and his courage, and we get a taste.
I know,
just a small taste of that.
He finds his courage, but
with a small taste of that.
This says
determination.
He already has it.
It says. So you know what that says to me? It says that he's ready to step foot on an adventure. It's the Bilbo that you see running through the Shire, trying desperately to get to the dwarves, and the contract is in his hands, and his neighbors say, "What's up with you? Where are you going?" And he's like, "I'm going on an adventure," and he's ready to go. That's the determination that I want to see in Bilbo's eyes. Okay. I think it's a great image. He's determined to try something new.
Okay.
And why not? I think that's the excitement of the character being awakened from, I don't want to go on these awful adventures. They make you late for dinner. I don't want to have anything to do with these smelly dwarves. Are you kidding me? I think it's really cool to see Bilbo actually like, well,
Actually, you might be right.
I've got some pluck. You'd rather see Bilbo have some pluck instead of just being a comedic buffoon the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, this is...
But I do like to know them before they come. Visiting.
Mr. Baggins?
At your service.
I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Yeah, it's like, why does he want to get involved in that?
A merry gathering.
So...
Yeah, see that Bilbo? That is the befuddled, frightened, timid Bilbo who changes in the story to find his heart and his wits and his courage. And I think that's a great way to sell it. I think it's great.
You think?
I think it's great.
I don't know.
This is the Hobbit.
See, your fans are talking about the Baggins half.
We need to find the 14th member of this company,
the
and
other
I
half
have chosen
is
Mr.
like
Baggins.
Pippin.
Me?
Pippin's family.
No.
Side. You know that.
Right.
And so we're seeing
Can
the
pass on
Baggins side of him.
Amongst if
Mousy
they
and
choose,
befuddled,
which gives us a
not knowing what to do with
distinct
all this craziness.
advantage.
We will
And
seize this
then
chance to
the
take
took
back
side.
Erebor!
Here, Mr. Bilbo! Where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
Yeah, and he's ready to go on, and we're all ready to go on an adventure with you. That's wonderful.
That's one of my favorite parts of the trailer.
Isn't it great?
His voice is just...
Here, Mr. Bilbo! Where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
I think that's great.
I love it. And what is he holding in his hand?
That's the massive multi-page contract from Thorin and Company.
So he just signed the contract. And Gandalf has left with everybody.
And he didn't get up on time. Hey, how are you?
So why does he have to sign a contract?
That's the dwarvish way of conducting business. They mean business. And Bilbo's services are for hire. He is a burglar for hire, the way Gandalf presents it to the dwarves. And Thorin is like, okay, if I'm going to hire a professional burglar to help me get some of this dragon treasure, I might as well, do it right. And they create a dwarven contract with Bilbo. You'll love it.
And so he has to sign that, and then he has to hit the road.
Those are the terms of sharing profits and the terms of what services are expected from him. It's dwarvish business. They're not messing around, man. They're not messing around.
Visitors as much as the next Hobbit. But I do like to know them before they come. Visiting.
Mr. Baggins? At your service.
I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Oh, they're quite a merry gathering.
So, this is the Hobbit.
You asked me to find the 14th member of this company, and I have chosen Mr. Baggins.
Me? No.
Hobbits can pass unseen by most if they choose, which gives us a distinct advantage.
We will seize this chance to take back Erebor!
Here, Mr. Bilbo! Where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
So is that what Gandalf presented it as? Is like, this is an adventure? You've always wanted adventure?
Yep. Gandalf helps to awaken the Tookish side in Bilbo.
Really?
Yep. I think the casting is wonderful. Peter Jackson's choices as a director have the greatest effect when he casts the right people for the right roles. And his job getting Ian McKellen to ever be Gandalf, and it was his job as the director to really get Martin Freeman as Bilbo and get this guy Richard Armitage as Thorin. It's really fantastic.
You know what?
Really great casting.
Let's let's play this and just get a recap of what he said with us at
Well, I think when you grow up with characters like this, they change as you get older. They evolve, and going back to the book at 40 years old, the same book that I read was read to me when I was 7, and it feels different, and these characters feel different, and then actually putting the costume on and trying to make that character live and breathe and walk and talk, and it's like you're given this responsibility to every other person that's read that book and that or is just reading the book for the first time or has read it when they were 7. That's a responsibility, and so you have to own that for everyone, and I've tried to take that on, and but I've only got my own imagination to work with. But it's served me well in the past, so I hope it will do again.
I believe it will. From what I witnessed, it's serving you quite well. I was very impressed with everything the team was doing down there on the set. But let me ask you something about the staying power of myth. Why is these stories have such a holding power on us? Why?
Well, I think that was one of Tolkien's great achievements, that he didn't create he didn't really create myth. He created legend. So and that's what his full intention was, to create something that felt like it was of this earth, not somewhere else, in the same way that maybe C.S. Lewis did. Is that Tolkien really wanted something that you might, as you read the Silmarillion or any of the early histories, the evolution stories that he comes through with, you realise that he's looking for something much deeper, much more English, actually.
Yes.
And he wants to create a universe that you think may have existed. He created a religion, effectively, languages.
17 original languages Tolkien invented, which is crazy.
And I think his passion for language and the way that he used Nordic mythology is why the book feels so real and sustains over a long period of time, and will do. I would be very surprised if any of these stories get remade again, but I think Tolkien will be visualized on film. Maybe the Silmarillion, something like that. I mean, that would be a great challenge to see that book come to life. But
it would.
But it would be a tragedy if it didn't.
It would. Oh, yeah, indeed. Well, thank you very much, Richard, for your time.
Nice to talk to you.
Congratulations on all your good work.
Thank you.
Cheers. Well done. All live, yeah, absolutely. Oh, we're live. Hello. Thanks for showing that. That was San Diego Comic-Con 2012.
And Richard Armitage with his piercing blue eyes, who I guess you have something else in common with Richard Armitage.
Did you see the way that Richard Armitage looks at Bilbo in that trailer? And he's like assessing him, reading him with his eyes and saying, so,
oh, yeah.
This is the Hobbit. Well, I had to endure that same scrutiny of Mr. Armitage when we were doing that interview. I'm telling you, he looks right through you.
Yeah, look at this.
Look at that. He's like, so, this is the Hobbit, wondering exactly what Gandalf is proposing. Really wondering what's going on.
Yeah. Like, oh, I don't know if I like you yet, but piercing gaze. Did you feel that when you were interviewing him?
I did indeed.
Speaking of piercing blue eyes, we had a reporter at the Bilbo Baggins birthday bash.
Lots of reporters. We got a lot of news coverage.
And people with cameras and video and everything. And
we were interviewed for the local television cable channel, TV. It's called TV 36, local access channel, and LA Weekly, the most popular alternative paper in major circulation.
That was real fun. I didn't know it was LA Weekly. She was just one person with a little notepad. She's like, hey, can I talk to you guys? And sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, we got a great write-up. You guys, we posted it on the front page of theonering.net. It's on our Facebook page. Go ahead and check out the LA Weekly's coverage of how Hobbit fans celebrate the 75th anniversary of The Hobbit. And, oh, how cool.
So speaking of LA Weekly, they are a friend of Meltdown Comics, where we do our live show here every day.
Yes, they are.
And they've been a big supporter of this new Kickstarter, and we are too. And one of our very special friends here at Meltdown is Mia, and she is 8 years old, and she has her own Kickstarter. And it's hard to find anybody younger publishing books and wanting to get out there as a published author and writer. So
wow. Well, Mia is a delightful young lady who is well, look, we have some wonderful samples of some of her work.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you a quick video, and then we're going to talk to her because she just watched Lord of the Rings, and I think she was 3 years old or something when they first came out. So
awesome.
I think she just caught up on a couple of them, and God, I'd love to get a new perspective.
A very new perspective on the story. That's great. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to watch this really cool video about this remarkable new children's storybook that our friend Mia is creating herself, and she is intricately connected to Meltdown Comics in more than one. Meltdown Comics is our wonderful epicenter of all geekdom here in Los Angeles. It's the greatest place to be for graphic novels, comic books. They have comedy shows. The Nerdist channel creates their podcast right here with Chris Hardwick and all the Nerdist guys, and special events. They even have Comics University. They teach classes for illustration, drawing, coloring, and lettering for the comics industry. And
so here's a video.
Do we have this cool video of Mia? Oh, check this out, guys.
Hey, I'm Ryan Moran, and I'm from Beardomancy 101 and Meltcast 2.0, and I'm here today to tell you that you should donate money to Mia's book, Chubby Daddy. It's really cute, it's really funny, I liked it, I saw it, the original art and everything. It was really good. So if you have a minute, you can donate whatever you want. You could donate $1, you could donate $5,000. Let's just get some money in there, because I donated. I was the first person to donate. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. Thanks, guys.
Alright, let's come back to...
Here we are. Oh, no, that's all right. You'll end up being part of it live too. Are we here? Are we ready? Hello there. How you doing, Mia?
Good.
Hi, it's great to meet you.
Hi.
Welcome to theonering.net. You are the youngest guest star we have ever had here on our show.
Really?
It's a great pleasure to have you here. say hello to how many hundreds of folks are watching right now? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Hundreds.
Oh, yeah, we do. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people watching Mia live. And tell me, what is the name of this book? And tell us about your Kickstarter. Let's start at the very, very beginning. The name of your book is?
Chubby Daddy.
Chubby Daddy. Awesome. And Chubby Daddy was your idea?
Yes.
Okay. How did it come to you?
Well, I really like my dad. So I wanted him to read some kind of book that I made because I really like making books and writing. I love writing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. You've always loved writing?
Yes.
And creating stories?
Mhm.
Do you think that storytelling is a wonderful, magical way for us to reach people?
Yes.
It is, isn't it?
Mhm.
And you decided to create Chubby Daddy? How long ago did you get this idea?
When I was 5.
When you were 5? Wow. Okay, how old are you now?
8.
8? So this has been a 3-year process.
Yes.
To work out. And tell me, who is it you've been working with to create some of this artwork for Chubby Daddy?
Well, I've been working with my mom and
Yeah?
also a girl that is writer for Nihao Kailan. So
Yeah?
the new pictures that I got up, it's a little bit with some of her drawings and my drawings in a mixture.
Oh, that's so great. So you have more than one illustrator helping you out.
Yes.
Yeah? Cool. So, Justin, let's scroll through that a little bit. This is your
These are my new artwork.
This is your Kickstarter. Oh my gosh. Chubby cat, what do you see? I see a chubby frog hopping past me. I love that. I have a chubby cat at home too. So, he's not that color, but I have a very chubby cat. Chubby Daddy looks adorable. Is that your dad with his glasses and his beard?
Yes.
Ah, I love it. I know him. I know that he looks just like that.
It looks a little red
Yeah?
instead of brown, the hair.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's very cute. So you've made some, you've put this all together, and you're actually ready to put this book out. You want to get this Kickstarter going. So people can click and they can donate, right?
Yes.
All right. How much do we need to get total for you to get your book made?
5,000.
5,000, guys. We have 4 days to go. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 days to go on this Kickstarter, and you're already at $1,500, aren't you?
Mhm.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. You just have, a little ways to go more. Look at this. Can you guys see this?
Those are my actually first drawings when I was 5.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Those are some of your earliest drawings?
Mhm.
That's super cute.
Oh, and who's this?
Jim, he does the art classes at Meltdown.
Oh, cool. Jim Higgins.
Yes.
He's also an artist, isn't he?
Mhm.
Oh, that's super cool.
What's that? Let's listen to what he says.
Yes.
It might be like really long.
Jim Higgins. I'm a comics editor, comics teacher, and have been in the comics business since 1993. I'm here to talk about Mia's new book, her exciting book, a kid's book that she's putting together on Kickstarter and looking to raise the funds here, so she needs your support. Mia is a smart, bright young girl who is a big reader, and she's been writing stories for years already. She's got a book called Chubby Daddy that is about a daddy who can talk to animals, and they go on adventures and all kinds of fun things. So, think about it. There'll be art and other things and descriptions here on the site, I'm sure. Check it out and make sure you donate to this. Mia's a great girl and a great writer. Thanks.
How cute. That is so cute. So you've got the support of established artists in the comics world. I think you're really going to get this done. You guys, I recommend you take a quick look. What's the easiest way, Justin, to get over to Kickstarter? Can they just go to Kickstarter and do a search for Chubby Daddy?
Yep.
Yes.
And the link is on in the Stickam chat.
Oh, and we have the link right here in the Stickam chat as well.
Sometimes, if it doesn't come up, then you can search Mia and Chubby Daddy. So
Yes.
the whole thing will come up.
Mia and Chubby Daddy, but that's spelled E-Y. D-A-D-D-E-Y.
But
right?
you don't pronounce it like that.
You don't pronounce it like that? No? Okay. How do you pronounce it?
Well, it's how you were saying it, but you don't pronounce it how I wrote it.
No. Oh, okay. You don't pronounce it how you wrote it? How do you pronounce it then? Chubby Daddy?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Chubby Daddy. Right. But most people don't put the E before the Y. But you do have one.
Yes.
Which I think is great. So I want to make sure they type in the right thing. Make sure you guys type in the Chubby Daddy with an EY on the end. Right?
I think mine will be the only one that comes up.
It
if
better
you
be.
do that.
It better. How many other Chubby Daddies could there possibly be?
So you just watched Lord of the Rings this week?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen Lilo and Stitch as well?
Yes.
Because somebody in the chat room just said that you were so cute and that you looked like Lilo and that I was Stitch. Isn't that funny? Look at, they just said that in there. Thanks, Jenny. I'm Stitch and you get to be Lilo. That's funny. Well, all right, say it with me now. Ohana means family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay, we got it done, right? We're done with our Lilo and Stitch routine. Thanks, guys. You guys are very funny. We get to interact with all these people. They're actually watching us and they're talking to us now. So, all right, let's talk about the Lord of the Rings. Your very first time seeing these movies, ever.
Actually, I watched it when I was 3 or 4.
Yeah?
Yeah, I watched it like 6 times.
Oh, wow. And you watched it again recently?
Yes.
Awesome. So what do you think about it? What do you think of the story of Frodo and the ring?
I think that it's a pretty good story because it has adventures and many other things that people would like.
Yeah. Great adventures. Did you like Gandalf?
Yeah.
Yeah? Who was your favorite character of all of them?
I would say, I don't know her name, but the elf girl, the one that saves Frodo.
Arwen.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. See, this is the reason why Evangeline Lilly is going to appear in Peter Jackson's new Hobbit adaptations, because these girls need role models in their movies. Arwen was really lovely, wasn't she? In the original book, she was not there rescuing Frodo. There was another elf, an elf warlord named Glorfindel. But I thought it was pretty cool that Arwen shows up, sticks a knife under Aragorn's neck and says, "What's this? A ranger caught off his guard?" Remember when she said that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love the way she shows up. She has a great entrance, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yeah?
And I like how she defeated the
ring wraiths.
Yes.
Yeah. And she summons the river to wash them away.
It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Because their horses, they can't run that fast in water, and she can just control the water to push them.
It's fascinating. I love Arwen too. I thought Liv Tyler was lovely. So we will also look forward to seeing Evangeline Lilly be just as lovely. Although other fans disagree about whether she has a place, I'm open to this flexible adaptation. Now, hey, back to the book, back to Chubby Daddy. You want friends to come on and help support you so that you can get this book made?
Yes.
And would you like it to be like one of the classic little golden books?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that on there. So tell me about that. How would you like, and how many do you want to print?
Well, by my goal, maybe I can print 200 or more.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great, a first printing of 200. And people will be able to find it here at Meltdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That is so great. So, what do you think is the most fun thing about creating a book? What do you like the most?
Well, I think I like the most because you can use your own imagination. You can't just let other people into the book, like make them write it or let them use your imaginations in the book. Yeah, so I think it's pretty good to write books.
That's super cool. That is super cool. Ladies and gentlemen, the youngest author we've ever had here on our show, and I think you are the most wonderful guest to have today. Remember when Peter S. Beagle was our guest once? I think he may have been the oldest author, and he's written quite a few interesting stories. The Last Unicorn. Have you seen The Last Unicorn? Okay, we'll get a copy of it. I bet you have a copy of it right down here. I'll find it for you. It's really a wonderful story. I've gone from the oldest fantasy author to the youngest on my show. That's so wonderful. I'm really glad to have you here, Mia. What do you think the audience should expect when they get their first copy of Chubby Daddy? Is it funny? Is it cute?
I think they'll expect cuteness in the book.
Lots of cuteness. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the goal? Definitely. The cuter the better, huh? Right? Sure. Yeah, sure. The cuter the better. Why not? So, what else would you like to tell the fine folks? Wow, we have lots of folks watching. It looks like we have had a grand total of 13,000 viewers today, just on this one show. 13,000 viewers in just an hour and 5 minutes. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Yeah, wow. Well, say hi to everybody. Say hi on the camera.
Hi.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions in the chat? Oh, thank you, Esme. That's very sweet. All right, Ted was leaving and saying bye-bye, Cliff and Mia. We do have Mia is so bright. Go, Mia. That's our artist friend, Paul Vincente. Mr. Paul, thank you, Paul. That's very kind of you.
It says Mia rules.
Mia rules. Oh, yeah, these people love you. Paul is a great artist, and I think that you should be encouraged. There's a lot of people out there who support you. There's a lot of people who are going to find your Kickstarter and drop a few dollars. I'm going to go do this right now. As soon as we finish the show, I'm going to go click and donate so that we can help you get this book made.
Yay!
Here's to independent publishers. Woo! Right on. Ooh, Steve, you're so good. You're so good at high fives. All right, is this the brother in the outfit? Come on in, coming out of the screen. Hello, wait, who's this? All right, Diary of a Cool Kid, right here. Is this your brother, Mia? What's his name?
His name is Gil.
Gil?
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Yeah, all right, Gil is there saying hi to everybody.
He has a podcast on Nerdist Industries.
Wow.
She's a great kid, right? She loves writing, and I think her book is great. So you should definitely donate and help.
You heard it here first. That's awesome. Well done. I agree. Yeah, you guys should check out this Kickstarter for Mia. Look up Chubby Daddy with her name, Mia. You'll find it. You can donate. And my friend, Gil. Look at this. Look at this tall, strapping lad. Do you know who he reminds me of? Do you guys remember in The Return of the King where Arwen sees this vision of a future where her little son is running right into her husband's arms? You look like that little baby version that Aragorn and Arwen have. You look like that kid. You haven't seen that yet?
No, I haven't seen that one.
He kind of looks like that guy in that movie. I've seen you in that Lord of the Rings movie. This guy right here. How funny is that? Well done. Yeah, come on in. One more foot to your left. You want to be on the frame. Everyone can see you.
Hello.
Yeah, hello everybody. Isn't that great? Now, I have to say, I'm very impressed with your artwork and your creative mind. Very impressed. It is a pleasure. Pleasure to have you, Mia. Wow, what a strong handshake. Wow, and a hard high five. Ow. Ow, just smack me into next week. I think I'll get my hand back next Tuesday. After that smack. That was really good. You guys check out the Chubby Daddy Kickstarter, and you'll get the chance to support Mia and support independent artists who are struggling, as we all are, as independent artists, to get our voices heard and to get our artwork out the door for the world to see. So then thanks for being on our show today. Both of you. Gil, thank you, buddy. Cheers. It's good to see you. And Mia, sweetheart, it's a pleasure to have you. All right, guys. How about that? Are we ready to conclude? Oh, there's one more story that we should talk about. We had an article on theonering.net, and do you know what it was about? It was about an interview with the guy who did the Matchstick Minas Tirith. Our friend J.W. Braun, who's also a great author, and he's an independent book publisher as well. J.W. Braun actually got a great interview with that guy who created this giant Matchstick Minas Tirith. His name is Pat Acton. We didn't get the chance to meet Pat. We went all the way over there to Iowa, didn't we?
Yeah.
And when we went looking for that. Look at that giant Matchstick Minas Tirith.
That's all made of matchsticks.
It's all made of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of matchsticks.
Yeah, so if you put a lighter on top of it, it will all burn.
Oh, it would incinerate in a moment. It sure would. 420,000 matchsticks to make that. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
Wow.
So we just published a really great interview just a couple of days ago, and it's really, really fantastic. So J.W. Braun caught up with Pat, and they had a really great conversation and some really good photos that Pat shared of his giant Minas Tirith model. So I recommend you guys check out that story. We have it on our Facebook timeline, and of course it's on the front page of theonering.net.
And you know where that thing is right now?
It's right down the road from here. It's at Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Really?
Right on the corner. Yeah.
Wow.
So shall we go see it?
I can believe it. I can believe it.
You You can believe it. I can believe it too. And you know what? We're going to try to schedule a special live episode of Torn Tuesday from Ripley's Believe It or Not. If they will give us permission, we'll go down there to the auditorium. That's what they call it, an auditorium filled with odd things.
Oh, an odd, O-D-D.
Yeah, an odd.
So clever. That's amazingly clever.
It's quite clever. It's filled with oddments and weird things. We'll go to the auditorium of Ripley's Believe It or Not. Maybe you guys can come with us that day, and we'll bring our floating iPad cameras, and we'll get some great coverage of this matchstick Minas Tirith. Wow. Justin, I think our destiny is to go to Ripley's Believe It or Not very soon. Don't you think? All right. So, hey, congratulations. You've got above $1,500 on your Kickstarter. That's very, very good, Mia. I think things are going very well for you. And I hope you meet your goal. I hope you meet your goal very soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my dear. Cheers, and thanks for being on the show. So, guys, check out theonering.net and see our cool stories about the Matchstick Marvels, Minas Tirith. And please click like on Facebook. We need more likes. You can follow me, QuickBeam. I'm on a Twitter account, and constantly dispensing my pearls of wisdom to the Twitterverse. You can follow me at QuickBeam2000, and you can also follow us at the One Ring Net, and that is our major Twitter account. And so we say.
And what's your Twitter account?
Oh yeah, and do you have a Twitter account too?
I kind of tweet about her on my Twitter account.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where can you follow Gil? Gil.
At Mutant Season. Simple.
And how do you spell that?
It will be the @ sign and Mutant Season. It's Mutant
M-U-T-M-U-T-A-N-T. Mutant Season.
Yes.
Okay. M-U-T-A-N-T-S-E-A-S-O-N.
Yes.
That's it.
That's season.
At Mutant Season.
Yep.
That's you?
Yep.
You can follow Gil at Mutant Season. You can follow me at QuickBeam2000. And you'll learn more details about Mia because he will tweet to the Twitterverse about that. Right?
Yes. Also, to learn more, you can listen to my podcast, Mutant Season. It's on Nerdist.
He's got the Mutant Season podcast on the Nerdist channel. You guys can find that at YouTube, right? You can subscribe.
iTunes.
Is it on iTunes as well?
You can get it on iTunes. It's free, and also if you go Nerdist.com, it will show up. You look at Mutant Season, it'll be all the episodes.
Fantastic. This guy's got on iTunes. I can't even get Ringer's Lord of the Fans on the iTunes store. Thanks, Sony. I know you're out there. Sony's distributed my film, but never ever managed to get it on iTunes. Now that the Hobbit movie's coming out, maybe they will. I think it's time to start emailing my friends at Sony. Yeah, you have to send lots of emails to get things done in this town, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, he knows it. He knows the truth. You guys, great co-hosting. Thank you. Thank you, Justin, for being on the air with me. High five. Awesome sauce. Wow, I got my hand back. All right, guys, we're going to sign off now and say thank you again for joining us at Torn Tuesday. We're here every week. And hello to everybody in the chat. Mia and Gil, support these kids. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for joining us. Flame of Udun has just joined us. And yes, we are now signing off. We've been live for an hour and 15 minutes. And Lordy B, we've hit more than 13,000 total viewers. Isn't it fantastic? So thanks again for joining us. Guys, very soon, we're bringing Billy Boyd on the air as soon as we can. And Matchstick Marvel's Minas Tirith, as soon as we get inside the doors of Ripley's Believe It or Not auditorium, right here at the corner of Hollywood and Highland. In the meantime, when you guys are ready to buy comic books and check out the coolest store in LA, come enjoy the epicenter of all geekery right here at Sunset and Gardner. Make sure you check out Meltdown Comics. They're fantastic. Thanks for hosting us, guys. Yay! All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for joining us on Torn Tuesdays. Good night and good luck, or I should say, buenos noches y buena suerte. Bye-bye. Signing off.